What's the connection between the royal jam makers and this? Robots, of course, but maybe not in the way you're thinking.
Social media would have you believe that the robots are coming. But if you spend time with robots, actually see and touch them, you realise they're a long way off our level. But that doesn't mean they're not coming. And that is the point of this story. This isn't a tale of robots taking over. It's a tale of how they will start doing useful work before they get to our level. And we will get back to the humanoids. But first, I want to take you here, to a farm in the English countryside. Because if you want to understand how robots will enter the workforce, you need to go to a place where they pick 100 million strawberries working against the clock. If you're wondering where your strawberries come from this summer, it is almost certainly a place like this. This is Tiptree Farms in Essex, a jam maker with a royal warrant from the king. And for almost 300 years, they've been picking strawberries entirely by hand. But that might be about to change, because if you come this way, you will see what we've got. Some strawberry picking robots. Picking in a regular shape, which changes all the time, is incredibly hard for a robot. So although these machines have been testing on this farm for a while now, when you watch them work, it does not look like the end of human labour. Especially when you see what a human picker can do. But this robot is not competing with some abstract idea of human labour. It is competing with a real system, one the UK depends on to get food picked. Fruit farms like Tiptree rely on a huge influx of seasonal workers who live on site in this camp.
We've got Kazakhstani, we've got Ukrainians, we've got Romanians, Bulgarians from all over the place. 9 different nationalities are living here.
Wow, how many people?
And we have, at this point in time, about 240 people on site.
Seeing the scale of the task, you start to understand why the farm wants robots. And not just this farm. Farms across the UK currently fill these jobs with tens of thousands of workers on seasonal visas.
The demand is so vast that even if we pick the easy and the medium and allocate the difficult ones to humans, it still makes a big difference to the end user, because the labor shortage is so critical.
The robots don't need to be as good as humans, they just need to be good enough for the right price. This robot cost £120,000 to produce, and this one cost £20,000, mostly due to the availability of cheap parts like this arm, cheaper parts anyway. There's also going to be a £10,000 one that's coming soon, and with that they'll be able to get the cost down of picking strawberries to about £2 per kilogram. That's still double what a human-picked kilogram costs. But many robot component costs are falling. Human costs are rising. But before I tell you what that means for the people working in those fields, let me show you where all of this is heading. The only place to do that is with a Chinese company, because robotics is speeding ahead in China right now. That's why I've come to Canary Wharf to see AGIBOT, one of the leading Chinese robotics companies. So let's see what they've got. What they've got is incredibly impressive technically. The smoothness of the motion is unbelievable. You have to keep a safe distance from this robot. It doesn't have the spatial awareness that we all have. It's running through basically a pre-programmed routine. And then it happens.
Oh no, how did I fall down? Please help me light blast.
It wasn't an easy fix. The robot was out cold for a long time. I think you're seeing why robotics is not quite ready for the mainstream just yet. Like one of those falls over on you and you will know about it. Of course, robots are improving fast. So I asked AGIBOT, when will they be out in the fields picking fruit?
We need a little bit time, yeah.
How long? Can you give me a rough estimate?
Probably, I think, maybe around 10 years. Yeah,
okay.
Around 10 years.
Back in Essex, the question isn't when the robots arrive, it's what happens to the people when they do. In the workers' camp, we meet Nosy from Johannesburg.
How are we going to work if the robots are here? Are we not, Wilkins and Sons, are they going to say, no, stop, no, you guys don't have a job. You need to go back to South Africa because now we have the robots.
I put Nosy's question to Andre, the farm director. Are the robots ready?
Not right now, not at this moment, but hopefully in 5 years' time we'll have a viable solution.
That might mean 5 years left for Nosy and her fellow pickers. Except this farm has been here before. To tell you the truth, all this talk of robots can actually be a bit misleading because it obscures the reality and the importance of genuine automation. You can really see that here, right? So there are sensors all around here, sometimes even buried in the roots here. And they are communicating with the pump house, telling it when to send water to the plants. Like, In a way, you might say this whole place is actually a big machine, even without the robots. But that didn't remove jobs. Quite the reverse.
We increase production and perhaps increase production per given area, and then we need more pickers.
When that holds, when the machines can finally pick, nobody knows. Nobody can really answer Nosey's question. Not the farm, not the robot makers, not me. But here's what I keep on coming back to. The future probably doesn't look like the robots and social media, you know, backflips and dances and kung fu kicks. It looks like this, where the robots seem slow and clumsy and kind of unfinished, because the machines probably won't arrive with a bang. They'll seep in, one task, one berry at a time, because our current system is so strained, it's almost a necessity.
In the future, maybe 20 years or maybe 10 years. So the number of the robotics will be more than the vehicle and will be more than the smartphone. But the value is the value of the vehicle. So this market is huge.